Hello everyone. Welcome. Welcome. May I welcome you to planet Earth. Feel free to look around. There's room enough. We have in the air, in the water, on and under the ground. For the florates among you, I have good news. You will particularly like our atmosphere. We have an abundance of water and, if desired, also ultraviolet sunlight or organic waste. These are not always of the best quality, but they are almost completely free. An earthly proverb says, "Don't look a given horse in the mouth." Apologies to all horses among the faunates. This proverb does not relate to your oral hygiene, nor does the proverb want to give the assumption that horses may just be regarded as property and given away. This is because natural rights of existence apply to faunates, which florates currently only have to a lesser extent. As a florate, it is therefore important to select a well-considered favorable growing location. An inappropriate choice can result in forced removal by a species called primates. The name says it all, they consider themselves the salmon's nose among the faunates and believe they can rule the roost here. Apologies to all the salmons of the faunates. This, too, was a metaphor that in no way implies that there is an economic value to any part of your body. The proverb also does not want to discriminate against salmon with a less pronounced beautiful nose. Although we are in favor of a great diversity, which only enriches existence for all of us, not all primates equally take into account the natural rights of existence that have already been recorded for faunates. These rights are already registered, especially as a target, but sanctions are not always imposed against violations of these rights. We are actually also against sanctions, but the opportunism of the primate species can be somewhat limited so that they become less parasitic. Apologies to all the parasites among you. We do not mean to criticize your lifestyle in any way. You have the same right to exist as other faunates. But in order to respect everyone's right to exist, it is preferable to convince species that have a choice in choosing a lifestyle to choose a lifestyle that is beneficial to everyone. Parasitism on the living environment is detrimental to everyone. The primates don't seem to fully understand that yet. As you can see, the atmosphere is fine, and you are welcome too, but the situation has become quite delicate for living with primates at the moment. Primates, on average, are not the best companions. Even among themselves they are divided in very complex situations and they even dare to kill each other internally, regardless of the natural rights of existence of faunates. They have created the idea for themselves that there is such a thing as a scarcity of raw materials for which they have to compete. To this end, primates group themselves in artificial smaller communities that they call countries. To be admitted to a country, primates must nationalize by entering into a contract with the government of that country. The agreement between primates and the board currently ideally goes like this. If you want to be a part of our community, you commit to choosing an activity in which you will be helpful in solving the needs of our community. We do not expect you to do things that are beyond your capabilities. We do expect you to find a place where you are not merely a burden on the community. In return, we promise with this agreement to realize your natural rights. In addition to natural rights, we also recognize other primate rights, which may differ from country to country. But as a government we want to ensure that these rights are also guaranteed from the moment you become part of our community and want to invest in it. For example, every primate has a right to appropriate work and a right to fair remuneration for that work. This right has also been registered to prevent primates from parasitizing on each other.
It is not always taken into account in abuses such as modern slavery, unpaid compulsory work, forced poverty to use underpaid, also immature, workmen, and the glorification of unpaid volunteers who want to do a useful social task for free, are eagerly used by organizations, governing bodies, or large corporations alike. They have normalized this approach for themselves. Everyone there pats each other on the back when they call in free labor. That it violates the agreement of fair pay for work that is beneficial to the community, the opportunistic primates are very happy to forget. Abuse by opportunistic primates for self-interest is called corruption. This subculture of primates is widespread but not a general rule. There is still hope for the primates who also recognize that this is not the best solution. The group of primates who share that insight have meanwhile called the other group neoliberals, which is actually a synonym for the new opportunists. There is also a subculture among the primates that is afraid of losing their natural and national rights. Out of fear, they strive to maintain and halt the status quo. Within the framework of the idea of scarcity of raw materials and competition, this subculture believes they have to fight against other living beings that they see as consumers of raw materials that they believe they have a monopoly on. Preservation of the status quo is what the primates call conservative. We all know, dear faunates and florates, that there is no such thing as standing still. Change is not a choice. The universe is changing at every moment, and so is this Earth sojourn. Adaptation to the situation of the moment is necessary for survival, a first step towards what the future will bring, and it enables further positive growth. Stubbornly lagging behind is no way to live together in the best way tomorrow. But I may be exaggerating the blind ideology of those subcultures of primates. My story could become gloomy then. I don't want to make you misgiotic. A clear vision of what awaits you on this planet was appropriate at this time, I thought. Feel free to look around. We have deployed buses to various locations. The buses to Antarctica are limited due to not being lucrative by lack of demand. I do hope you all will find a nice and pleasant stay here. If there are any questions, you can always ask them. Make an appointment for this on our page on Google. There may be a queue there. You can find a faster response by logging into ChatGPT. Thanks for your attention. Best wishes for florates and faunates alike. P.S. Currently, no planetary legalization is required to grow here. Enjoy your freedom.